Hey guys, so in today's video, I will be running Gemma 4 model locally on my laptop. So I will be using Ollama to run the Gemma 4 model locally. I will share my laptop configuration as well so that you get to understand how uh, the model behaves in my laptop. So I have a decent laptop. I will not say that I have a very high-end configuration in my laptop. So I have a decent laptop with NVIDIA GPU. So I will share my laptop configuration and we will run the Gemma 4 model locally and we'll integrate it with Claude Code, and also I will integrate it with OpenClaw. So we will see that how the Gemma 4 model running locally on my laptops works with Claude Code and OpenClaw. So let me share my screen and then we can start. So let me share my laptop configuration with you guys first. So I will be running the fast fetch command. So actually I'm running Arch Linux and I have a NVIDIA G4 RTX 4060 graphics card. Okay. I have a i7 processor 14700HX and my laptop is a Lenovo Legion 5 laptop. Okay. So I have Ollama already running. Okay. So this is the version of Ollama that I have. So let me open the ollama.com. Yeah. So this is the Ollama website. You can just download Ollama using this command if you are on a Linux, and also you can download the exe for Windows if you are running it on Windows. And for Mac OS, you can run the same command. So I think for Macs and Linux, I think the same command installs the Ollama in your system. So I already have Ollama. Okay. You can run other models as well. So Ollama supports lots of models. You can see here. And it also supports the Gemma 4. So we will be trying Gemma 4 today. So let's see here. So Gemma 4 is there. You can see we can run it with Claude Code, OpenClaw, Hermes Codex, and OpenCode. So these two I have tried. So we will see that how to use these with Ollama. Now I will be trying this model. So this is the latest model. So Gemma 4 E4B. So this is the model that I'm going to run. So to run this, we just need to run this command. After installing Ollama, we need to run this Ollama run Gemma 4 this command. So if I copy this command, so I have already installed or run Ollama one. So if I do Ollama list, I will see the models that I have tried. So it is a 9.6 GB uh, size of model. So once I once I run this command, it will first download the 9.6 GB of model and then it will start the model. Currently, for me, it is already downloaded. So once I run this command, it will just start my model. Next, we are going to try with Claude Code, right? So let me open the Claude Code website. Again, for installing it on on Linux, you can use this command to install. I've already installed Claude Code. Next, we are going to try OpenClaw. So OpenClaw, you can use it with npm. Okay, Node. So you need to install Node in your laptop as well before trying this OpenClaw. Okay, so now you can see Ollama is running. So let me ask a simple question to it first. So what is Gen AI? So you can see here, it has started thinking. So currently it is capturing all the information, or currently it is checking all the details he has regarding Gen AI. And after checking all the details, he will finally give me the answer. Okay. So you can also see here in Ollama, whatever thinking it was doing, all these also you can check right now. What now it is giving me the answer. So this is the most talked about and rapidly evolving. So you can see the performance is also quite good. Okay. If you don't have any GPU like NVIDIA or AMD, and then you are going to try this with the integrated GPU, or you might get the lesser performance. Maybe the output in which you are getting the response might be slow. So you can see here, it has provided me all these answers. What is generative AI? How does generative AI works? The most common technologies, LLMs, diffusion models. What can Gen AI generate? Right, text it can generate, images, audio, music, video. So you can see here all these informations it has provided me, and this model is completely running local. Even if I disconnect my internet, it will give me the answers, and it is also giving me the summary. Okay, next, to integrate with Claude Code, what you need to do. So I already installed Claude Code. Okay, so using this command. For Windows, obviously, you can download the exe. I think for Macs and Linux, you can use this command to install Claude Code. I'm already running it. Now, to run, once you run the Claude Code, and it will first ask you to authenticate with Claude, but for me, it will not, because if I run it, let me first show you. So it is asking me a question whether you want to trust this folder or not. So I will say yes. So it has just started my Cloud Echo. Okay. Now you see here it has not asked me to authenticate from the Cloud A server to use the models and all. So let me first run the model. So you can see here if you see there are 5 models. Okay. This is the default one, and this is the price $5, $25 per M token. So net has this price, and Gemma 4 E4B, it is the custom model which is running my local model. Now let me stop this again. Now I will show you guys how I have integrated it so that when I run the Cloud code, it opens the, or it uses the Gemma 4 model. So let me open my JDAS here, .jdsh RC. So I'm running JDSH shell, not the bash shell. So if you are running a bash shell, you need to use these commands. For Windows, there is a little bit difference. Maybe we'll see that. Okay. Okay. So if you can see here, what I have done, export Anthropic base URL. I have changed the base URL to localhost 11434. So when you run Ollama in your laptop, basically Ollama uses this port 11434, and localhost means your local laptop's host. Also, you can use the IP 127.0.0.1. That is also the IP for your local host. So you can see here, I have changed the base URL to use the Ollama. Auth token I have written as Ollama. That is why it didn't, when I started the Claude Code, it didn't ask me to authenticate it. And the model I have added Anthropic model as Gemma 4 E4B. So this is the default model that my Cloud Code will use. So only these configuration was enough to integrate Gemma 4 with the Cloud Code. Now let's use this. Now let's use the Cloud Code. So let me ask it what. Okay, so I've just asked that for Windows what commands I need to use corresponding to this. Okay, so if you are running these commands running terminal, you simply enter them line by line. So it is saying that instead of running it or adding it in the bash file or .jsh, you can directly run in the terminal. But this will work with Linux. Let me ask. I want to use these in Windows. What will be the command or command corresponding to Windows? Let's see. Okay, now it has stayed. So you asked me what things are you referring to? Please provide the context. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me copy this again. Now what I will do, I will ask it here. Let's see what. So one thing you see here, it didn't understand that the second question I'm asking is related to my first question. Okay, so we didn't got the he's asking me to please provide the context for the items you would like me to convert to using Windows commands. So maybe he's not checking my previous commands and maybe these output he has not referred, and it is asking me to again provide the context. So just let me do one thing. Let me just add only these and let me see whether he is able to understand my queries again. Okay, now you can see it has provided me the answer for PowerShell. Yeah, so these are the commands that is going to be used in Windows. So if you see here, for command prompt, he has provided me that these command we can use. For git bash or WSL, I can use. So it has provided me a very nice detailed information. It has provided me as per the PowerShell command prompt and git bash. Okay, so you can see here in the Ollama shell, okay, or Ollama interactive shell of Gemma 4, it is provided me the answer which I wanted, right? But here it looks like you have provided okay, somehow in when I'm integrating with Cloud Code, it is not providing me the proper answer. You can see here, it just explained it, and it here again it is not explaining me anything, or it didn't understood my question. So that was the problem I saw with Cloud Code. Now, if anybody has tried it with Cloud Code, and you can see if I'm missing something or something additional I need to do so that it provides me the proper expected answer, if right. So here in the Ollama interactive cell, it has provided me the correct answer which I wanted. But with Claude Code, it has not provided me the proper answer, and also it seems that he is not able to properly understand my queries. Also, is not able to read what he has, you know, what the were my previous questions and all. So this was the issue I faced using with Claude Code. So then I tried OpenClaw. So let's do that again. Now I will be trying OpenClaw with this again Gemma 4 model. So also OpenClaw I have already installed, and I'm running OpenClaw using I have installed OpenClaw using the npm command. Right. So I used this npm install command to install this. Also in Linux, if you are running this and it sometimes gives the error of permissions, so in that case you can use this command with sudo command so that it will work. Once it is done, you need to run this OpenClaw on board command, install daemon. So I will be not running this as of now. I don't want any daemon process to be running. So I will just run this OpenClaw on board. Okay. So it will ask me some questions, okay, to do the proper configuration so that the OpenClaw is integrated with Gemma 4 model. So first it is giving me some security disclaimer, which I need to accept. Okay. So I will say yes. I will say manual. Okay. Since we need to integrate with our local model. So it is saying whether to use local gateway or remote gateway. So since we are using local, we will use local gateway. It is asking me for a default directory, workspace directory. So maybe I will give whatever default is shared here. So it will be using a dot OpenClaw workspace folder. Now it is asking me to choose the auth provider. Here I will be selecting Ollama. I will say cloud local, cloud only, local only. So for now, I will just select local only. This is the IP of Ollama, the local host 127.0.0.1 and 11434 is the port where my Ollama service is running. Default model, it is saying enter model manually. I will say E4B. So this was the model. Let me just confirm this. Gemma 4 E4B. Gemma 4 E4B. So this is the default model I'm selecting. Now this gateway port is for OpenClaw. So OpenClaw will use this port. Loopback, I will keep this again. Recommended, okay. Case closer, this I will say off. Okay. Blank. Chat channels now. Do that. Yes. Okay. So it is giving me some chat channel that I can use for chat. WhatsApp is also there, but I will skip this. Let me do one thing. Finish. Search provider also I will skip for now. Skills now, no. Skip for now. Install optional plugins. Okay, this is also I am skipping for now. Configure plugins. I will skip. enable hooks, escape, install gateway service, yes. Gateway service runtime WhatsApp, okay. Installed, restart, I will say. How do you want to hatch your bot? Hatch in terminal. Okay, let's do hatch in terminal. Okay, so I think now the configuration is done. And so you can see here, this was the last time when I did the configuration. I asked it to read some files in the current directory. And also I asked it to run, to check this particular folder, what all files are present. And he was able to read the files. So this was also one thing which I found that in Claude Code, it was not able to do so. So if I again run Claude Code, okay, can you read files in my, let me copy that directory. And which the, yes, let's ask this much. So I'm asking it to read the files in this directory. Also this OpenClaw, meanwhile, let me show you at this OpenClaw, we can also run a UI, which will be local host, what are the one it says is okay. WebSocket URL, how to open get. Okay, so I think we need to run these two commands. Okay, we'll see this in some time. So we'll try to run this and see whether we are able to run the URL again or not. The UI of OpenClaw. OpenClaw UI model. I can certainly help you with that. However, as an AI running in this environment, I do not have direct access to your local file system, including the content of this. So it says that it doesn't have the direct access to the file system. I tried exploring it. I tried see if there is any configuration which where I can enable it or give the Claude Code permission to read files on my system, but it was not able to do so. Now, same question, see, you can see here, I've asked it before also. So let me just repeat this question and let's see whether it is able to check the files or not. I'm just stopping my code. Okay. So the files, so it is able to read the content of this file. Now let me do one more thing. I will just say explain me the content of app.py. So I'm asking it whether I'm asking it to read the app.py file and explain me what it is. So let me see whether he's able to understand this app.py is the this file which is here or which is in this directory, or I need to provide the complete path. So first I will ask it simply this question. Okay. So it is able, you can see here, it is able to understand and it is reading the correct program. So you can see here, so you can see here I am running a Streamlit project, Streamlit. Okay, so running Streamlit and uh, I have these this code here, load env, and I'm using LangChain API. Okay, so when I'm running Ollama here. Okay, so you can see here it is able to read the content of the file. It is saying that it uses this uh, command code and it is LangChain API. It is using LangChain project. It is using, okay. It is using this model Llama 3.23b. Right. So this was the code. This code contained this model. Okay. Let me ask it to change this file. Let us see whether it is able to change the content of this file or not. You to replace the Llama 3.2 colon 3b model to Gemma 4 P4B in tab dot p5. So let me see whether it is able to change the content of the file or not. It is successfully able to read it, and it is saying I have successfully updated app.py to change the model from this to this. The relevant line was updated here. Okay, so let me go to the code and see whether he has actually changed it or not. Just reopen the file. Yeah, so you can see here it has updated the code as well. So you can see the OpenClaw is working very nicely with Gemma 4 and it is able to perform the code and all. Let me do to stop it once again. Use the dashboard link above to control OpenClaw. Where is workspace to backup security? Okay, let us not try that. OpenClaw gateway run. And then it is OpenClaw dashboard. Okay, dashboard URL this. Fine. So now you can see here it has opened the OpenClaw in the browser, right? And whatever we interacted, you can see here it is here. It has explained the code which, so whatever we interacted in the terminal, we can see that it is also present in the UI. Okay, so here you can see it has the gateway overview. So it has an overview section. It has channels. Okay, So you can see we can later also configure any channels or chat applications like WhatsApp or any other Telegram. Okay, so these are the instances sessions. It has a user section. You can check. You can see the OpenClaw provide all these details, skills. We can also use built-in skills like these. So I've not tried all these things. Maybe I will try and see if they are also helpful. Then we have configuration section. Here you can see the model is Gemma 4E4B. So these are the all the configuration that I'm using. So initially we configured it using the OpenClaw onboard command. Now you can see I've just entered OpenClaw. So it has started these things and it is using this model. You can see here Ollama, this model. So now I don't need to run OpenClaw onboard command every time. I can just run this OpenClaw and it will give me this answer. Let me ask something. Can you read the files in my current directory? So meanwhile, it is responding me. I will do one more thing. I will try to use this Gemma 4 model in my IDE. So for that, I have installed VS Codium. VS Codium is an open source fork of Visual Studio Code. So in Visual Studio Code, I am basically running the GitHub Copilot. So I don't want my local Gemma model and Copilot to run together. So I will separately run VS Codium and then try to see whether I'm able to uh, use Gemma 4 in the VS Codium. So VS Codium is very much similar to VS Code. You can see here. The interface is also very similar. Let me open one folder. Let me create one folder. In workspace. Okay, let me open a folder that I just created. Okay. Now I will be installing the extension called Cline. There is one more extension called Continue. Continue, I have already used it and I have a video in my playlist. You can check that. So today I will be trying this C-line, Cline or C-line, whatever the pronunciation. So I will run this C-line in my VS Code here. So here is the C-line. Select an option below to get started. Okay. bring your own API key, absolutely. Let me do continue. Other options. Back. Let me see if we have Ollama is there. Okay, so you can see here that drop down is showing the models. I have selected this. Okay. It says that does not support MCP and focus chain. Okay, I think for this only, if I'm using compact prompt, then maybe it will, these things might not work. So it says that it works best with Claude models. Less capable models may not work as expected. Okay. Let me do continue. Let me close it for now. Okay. Okay, so finally I'm able to run that OpenClaw on the terminal as well. So if you see here, so when I'm running OpenClaw, enter, and if I ask any question like mm, okay, so I will take this path, and if I ask OpenClaw that I want, uh, can can you read files in, so you can see here it responded with this error, not error, sorry. So I asked a question, can you read files in this path? And it responded with, I can run this Docker status health check, restart gateway. So you can see it has not responded with the correct answer that I was expecting. So actually I was doing, I was starting the OpenClaw by wrong command. So if you see, if I open it with OpenClaw dashboard, it opens in the browser, the web UI. And if I ask the same question, it will respond correctly. Okay, so you can see here, it has responded with the correct answer that these are the files present inside this folder. But on the terminal UI, it was not responding the correct answer. So there is the command, this OpenClaw, and we can use OpenClaw TUI command, terminal UI, to start in the terminal. So if you see here, now you can see that it has opened the correct folder, and now you can see the content which was visible in the web UI is also visible here, right? And if I ask the same question now in the terminal, or let's see the question. So now it will provide me the correct answer. So now you can see here again, it has provided me the content of this file. Next, in the VS Code, let me say I want to create a fast API Python to check. Let me see how it responds. Okay, read project files, edit. Let me give it edit, execute. Okay. You can see here, Ollama Gemma 4 model is being used. So you can see here it has read this folder. It has created one requirements.txt and added the library or packages that is needed for fast API. So it is able to do the code changes and all, but the speed seems to be a bit slow since it is running locally. Cline wants to execute the command, so it is asking me whether Cline can execute this command. I will just say run command. So it has opened the terminal and it has executed this command. Okay, so since it doesn't have a Python virtual environment right now, Python -m may reject it and create a Python virtual environment inside the project and use that. Okay, it has now created a main.py. So let's see, wait for it to finish it. Maybe then we will install the Python. So let me just close the terminal. You can see here it has imported fast API, import fast API, and then it has a simple API it has created. Hello world API is running. Item, okay. Rejected. Okay. Now it has taken this input. Let us see whether it is creating these commands or not. Okay, it has created a virtual environment. Whether to run these commands or not. Pip install. Okay, now it is running pip install. So it is now running the packages. Okay, now it is telling me to run this command. You can see here it has started the app. Task completed. So it is summarizing what it has done. It has created requirement.txt, added the dependencies, created the virtual environment, created a to get APIs, and it is saying that we can run this. Yeah. Okay. Let me open this in the browser. You can see here it has created the API. Let me try it out. Yeah, it's responding. Line one completed. Okay. Okay, so you can see here it using this line, I'm able to use this Gemma 4 model, and also it is able to do the code for me. It is able to create the APIs. Also, it has run the API, and I can see that API doc is also working fine, and I'm able to execute the APIs. Only I found that the response was a bit slower since we were running it locally, but it gets the jobs done. So if you are, so what I conclude is that, if you are using Gemma 4 locally, so you can use it for general interaction using the OpenClaw, and also you can see it is able to OpenClaw is able to read the files, also do some minor code changes and all. And if you want to do a proper development in the IDE, then you can use the Cline plugin to use the Ollama Gemma 4 model, and you can perform the codings as well. So that's all for today's video, and thank you.